Hello and welcome to, I kind of think is a difficult one in the Call of Duty tier list, because I think I'm going to quickly put it out there that I haven't played all these Call of Duties. I haven't played COD 3, I haven't played COD 2, I haven't played Black Ops 4, I haven't played Black Ops 3, I haven't played Infinite Warfare, and I haven't played the original Call of Duty. But other than that, I have played every single other game, and I think I'm going to rank them on everything within the experience. The single player, they have the tertiary game mode, and the multiplayer. First things first, I'm going to put the Call of Duty Online as, I think I'm going to put it as good. I remember playing this back in the day when it first came out. I had a VPN back then. I went to China, and obviously, with me living in England, the ping was awful, and I felt like my computer was getting a virus as I was playing it. Well, I thought it was a pretty good experience. I think it's the experience that everybody really wants on multiplayer on Call of Duty, just a centralized gameplay. And I know modders was trying to do that with SBM2, but I just wish that it was westernized. That game was really. Um, Next thing I'm gonna put Ghosts in awful. My experience with Ghost was I didn't pick it up until Christmas because I was reliably informed that it was a poor game. I picked it up at Christmas for cheap. I played it for about 3 hours. Thought that it was awful. The time to kill was instantaneous. That you couldn't do anything about it. I thought the maps were all awful that I played, and 3 hours into my experience with one of my least favorite Call of Duties, I accidentally knocked over my Xbox and gave the disc a ring around it, and I think that's probably for the best because I've seen other people talk about it, and it's like the plague. Advanced Warfare, average. I didn't really like the advanced movement in Call of Duty. I do think that there is room for it, but I just think that it was the time and the era of the three major FPSs on console, COD, Halo, and Battlefield, all trying to be each other. COD tried to be Halo, Halo tried to be COD, and Battlefield tried to be COD as well. And it didn't really work. If you want to play them other games, play them other games. Don't play the Call of Duty expecting Halo. Um, Next up is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I'm going to put it in average as well. I know it's going to be harsh, but actually I might put these down one. Yeah, I'm going to put all of them down one. I know it's harsh because it's the original Call of Duty 4 experience. But didn't they resell the map packs that come out in the COD 4 as DLC? Didn't they bring out DLC weapons for a game that was already like 8 years old? So that like predatory aspects of the game is just anti-consumer. Oh yeah, I didn't play that neither. I don't even know. Oh, COD Mobile. I didn't play Modern Warfare, World War Two either. I got to admit. COD Mobile with Call of Duty Online, pretty much a similar experience if I'm led to believe is true. Um, just refixing the thing. I just noticed something, but yeah, just a similar experience to the Chinese COD Online. Very generalized. I don't really like the phone controls. It would have been definitely better if it was released as a actual release, but what can you do? Next up is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 19, 2019. I think it's a very good Call of Duty. I know SBMM screwed it really. I know it's the beginning of modern Call of Duty without the prestiges and stuff. But I do think it's still a good game. I do like the gunplay on it. I think the gunplay is fantastic. The overall feel of the game is absolutely perfect, really. I think it was let down with some of the maps. I think it was let down with the SBMM, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good Call of Duty. Not as good as the old ones, but definitely good. With that, I'm gonna put COD 4 just above it. This is where I start to talk about. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about Modern Warfare 19. Okay, so Modern Warfare 2019 is one of the best campaigns in terms of missions, in terms of bringing back things that are actually quite entertaining with the campaign. It was fantastic. The breach in the house mission is fantastic, and with COD 4, it's got one of the most entertaining campaigns. It's got quite entertaining multiplayer. I do think it was unrefined and it had a lot of things wrong with it, but the old Call of Duties had wrong with it, along with World at War. I'm gonna put it there as well. But yeah, Call of Duty World at War multiplayer was as good as COD 4. The zombies mode, I think I'm gonna put it above Modern Warfare because its zombies mode was fantastic. It was a breath of fresh air. Its campaign was quite good. It was very respectful for the source material. It didn't really go into aspects of the war that probably would have made it a better game in terms of multiplayer, but still a fantastic game. Next up is God tier Modern Warfare 2. One of the most iconic campaigns, one of the most iconic multiplayers, one of the most funniest tertiary mode in terms of Spec Ops. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think they've beaten it other than Zombies since. It's such a fun experience. Spec Ops is with a friend as well. Fantastic. Next up is another God tier. Actually, yeah, I'm going to put it in amazing because I'm going to put all the gods in God tier elsewise. Single player, the campaign, iconic, literally the most iconic in the entire franchise, memeable. The tertiary mode, Natty Zombies, I think it was better than World at War, obviously, and the multiplayer it was a more refined version of World at War, a lot more competitive than Modern Warfare 2 with the grenade launchers and stuff, but I just have a softer spot for Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 3 I'm going to put in amazing as well. It was a more refined Modern Warfare 2. A lot of interesting things they brought into the game, like the kill confirmed. You had the leveling up weapons stuff. Absolutely fantastic ideas. I just wish that there was a Call of Duty that good nowadays, because it would be like the best game ever. Black Ops 2, I'm going to put it up there with Modern Warfare 2. Another fantastic game. Single player, very good. Not as iconic as Black Ops 1, but still very good. Zombies, it had a rough start, but I think it did well. I think some of the maps were quite fun. And then you got the multiplayer that was like, it is the best multiplayer in the series. Best maps, best setup of perks, setup of creator class, setup of everything. You had the creative element, emblem stuff still in the thing. I know people abused it, making like obscene things up, but yeah, fantastic game. Cold War, I'm gonna put it there in good. It just about scrapes good. It's got the same problems as Modern Warfare off game, and I do appreciate that. I quite enjoyed the multiplayer for a bit, and prop ones and stuff like that is actually quite fun to play. But I think the thing what done Cold War was the fact that it was still on the old engine. If it was on the modernized engine, if it was on Modern Warfare 2019's engine, it probably would have been better than Modern Warfare. I think the campaign was quite fun. I thought the zombies was actually really fun. But I just think that the multiplayer, it had something weird with it. There was something wrong and I couldn't really put my finger on it. COD Warzone, awful. I hate battle royale style modes. I think they're a scourge on modern day gaming, really. I know a lot of people enjoy them, but it's pretty much there's better games to have done a battle royale than COD. And the battle royale in general is pretty boring as a game mode. Multiplayer is just a more interesting affair. Call of Duty Vanguard, I'm going to put it in bad. I don't think it was as bad as the other two. It wasn't as predatory as Advanced Warfare or Modern Warfare Remastered. With Vanguard, its main problem was campaign was awful. The zombies was awful. They did well in terms of putting it on new engine, but the problems was multiplayer maps was awful, aside from the ones that they remastered. You had all the weapons in the game was awful up until level 70, where you had like overpowered attachments onto the guns, and only then was the guns viable. And then you had all the shotguns in the game were overpowered up until about April. Like the double barrel akimbo shotguns, I legit have a clip where I shoot one person at the top of my screen and the guy at the bottom of the screen at the same time as I'm leaping through the air and aiming directly in the middle of them, not aiming down sight. I killed both of them and I literally killed them both and laughed for about 5 minutes because it was that insane. But yeah, bad game. Next up is the newest Call of Duty, and I think I'm going to put it on average. I don't think it is as good as Modern Warfare 19. I don't think it's as good as Cold War. I think the maps let it down. The entire game, there's only one good map really, and that's Hotel. All the other maps on the game are just awful to like some of the worst maps in COD history, like that border crossing map. The meta in the game is awful. The perk system in the game where you have to load up perks is awful. The fact that EOD doesn't work on rocket launchers is awful. The fact that they wanted to nerf riot shields being as a secondary, so they made it so it's a 3-hit kill, is so like brain dead. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I think that's my finished list with Call of Duty. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and goodbye.